Back in October of 2016, my son Dustin, who was 22 and going to school at a local Christian college to be a registered nurse, had gone to a chiropractor to find out what was wrong with his back. They immediately sent him to the ER, and he called and said, "Hey Mom, I'm on my way to the ER." And I knew something was wrong because that was not normal for Dustin. So I hurried up to the hospital that I assumed he would be at, and sure enough, he was there. And within 2 hours, they had diagnosed him with stage 4 cancer. It was a complete shock, because he was always healthy. He was a runner. He was active in church. He was just Mr. Vibrant. And within 2 weeks from that, they had diagnosed him with an extremely rare and aggressive form of cancer called embryonal rhabdomyosarcoma. Throughout Dustin's hospital stay at both United and the Mayo, he would minister to the people there. A funny thing about Dustin is he was planning to be a medical missionary. And so every day he would invite people into his room, whether it was the doctors or the phlebotomists or the oncologists, the nutritionists, everybody, all of his guests would come in and he would offer to pray for them. And it was just really heartwarming to see my son, who was dying of cancer, offering Jesus to other people. And it was just amazing. It was one of those heart-melting things that, I would just sit and I would weep and I would look away from him to, try to hide my tears. But I was just so proud of the man that he had become. And I believed all the way through the end that he would get healed. And God had other plans. And on March 5th, my sweet Dustin took his last breath. And then on March 9th, my husband and I closed on our house. On March 10th was Dustin's funeral. And before the funeral, my husband came to me and he said, "Julie, I can't do this anymore. I'm done. I don't love you. And I'm keeping the house." And my world completely crashed. The blessings in my life, though, supersede all of these horrible things that happened because God saw me through it. I can't explain it. I held on for dear life, I guess, at that point, just because there was nothing else to hold on to. My oldest son lived in Alaska at the time, and I couldn't necessarily lean on him because he had his own life and he was dealing with his own hurts from all of this. So in my living room for 2 months straight, God met me and he healed my heart from all this pain, from the loss of my son, who was an amazing human being who loved the Lord, who was absolutely on fire for God. And from the loss of my marriage and all the dreams that I had wrapped up in those things. One thing that I remember most about Dustin is that he was never ashamed to talk to people about who God really was and how he loved them. He shared Jesus. And I want my life to be a reflection of that. No matter what the hurts and pains any of us are experiencing, God can heal them. And he's got a plan for us, and it's a good plan. So I hope that my story helps someone else heal along the way.